Now we have our very own Dr. Azam Tamimi, who's a British Palestinian academic and political activist, who's written a number of interesting books, including Hamas, A History from Within. Okay, I'm going to remind you though on the time.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله ومن والاه. Again, thanks to Anas, Abdullah and the team for organizing the function. And I was so keen to be here that I flew yesterday from Amman, escaping the sandstorm that was followed by a snowstorm. I was asked to speak about political Islam in Britain. And I've been really thinking about this, Anas. I mean, what can you say about political Islam in Britain? We've heard so much about how confusing this term is, how confusing the concept is. I mean, just let me tell you a very brief story. About 10 years ago, slightly more than 10 years ago, I was approached by Scotland Yard to help them in my capacity as one of the leaders of the Muslim Association of Britain in this country to salvage Finsbury Park Mosque, which I took the offer to my brothers, my colleagues, my brothers and sisters, and we agreed that it was in the best interests of the Muslim community, of Islam, of British society, that Finsbury Park Mosque should be returned to the community rather than remaining in the hands of a bunch of lunatics. And we worked with Scotland Yard all the way. We worked with them on other projects, not because we are lackeys or because we somehow sell ourselves to the enemy, as some people would probably from Al-Muhajirun would like to say, but because we believe this is our country, this is our society, we live here, and we want a safe, secure, free environment for ourselves, for our children, for everybody else. After all, we do appreciate that this is the country to which many of us came because we happened to be persecuted elsewhere. This is a country where, thanks to the values of democracy and human rights, you can find a safe haven and you can express your opinions. Now, unfortunately, afterwards, and the lesson from this story is that you cannot really put in one category Azam Tamimi, who salvaged Finsbury Park Mosque in collaboration with Scotland Yard, with Abu Hamza and his group in one category. If you put them in one category, then you are as lunatic, as crazy. It just cannot work this way. See, we came to this country as students. Some of us came as political asylum seekers. Most of Muslims in this country came as laborers much earlier and established communities. Now, when I look in the mirror, when I see myself in the mirror, what do I see? Azam Tamimi is considered to be a member of political Islam, an affiliate of this category of people. What do I see? I see a very simple Muslim being that believes that Islam consists of three main pillars. First, a set of rituals: Salat, Siyam, Zakat, Hajj. Second, a code of ethics. And third, a way of life. A set of principles in the way that I administer my life. Now, this distinguishes someone like me, who is committed to these three pillars, from someone who considers himself to be a Muslim, but doesn't care much about Salat, or doesn't care much about what happens in Palestine, or what happens in Egypt, or probably enjoys a pint of beer or a glass of wine. Yes, you find Muslims of this sort. You find Muslims who are committed to the rituals, but are not so interested in being politically active. So a Muslim who observes the rituals, a Muslim who believes in the doctrine, and a Muslim who cares about the rest of the Ummah happens to be Azam Tamimi, Anas al-Tikriti, and the affiliates of one strand of this huge category that we refer to as political Islam. So if I really want to talk about something that I know very well, I would, of course we don't have the time, but I would restrict myself to the affiliates of the Muslim Brotherhood school of thought. That's the school of thought I belong to. It's a school of thought that believes that Islam is about living life with others in the best possible way, communicating your ideas peacefully, reforming what is wrong with society, and probably this is what causes a headache to so many people around the world. We were on excellent terms with the British government until we opposed the war in Iraq. Then we become a menace. Because we support the struggle of the Palestinian people, and because we don't consider Hamas to be a terrorist organization, and yes, it is not a terrorist organization, then they don't like us. And you go and conduct a referendum among the Muslims wherever they happen to live. I bet you 99% of Muslims will tell you Hamas is a legitimate liberation movement. That's what it is. Israel, in our view, is the terrorist entity because it took my mother's house and it took my father's land and threw me out of my land. But they don't want to see this fact. We supported the Arab Spring, although we live in this country, but we love to see democracy spread in the Arab region. We supported the Arab Spring in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Libya, in Syria, in Yemen, everywhere, the whole region. And that displeased Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. So they started sending emissaries to Cameron. Cameron, you have to do this, you have to do that. And Cameron is an elected prime minister. They wanted him even to close my TV station, Al-Hawar TV station. Several times they came to Cameron and asked him to close Al-Hawar TV station, the Saudis and the Emiratis in particular. And he turns to them and says, it doesn't work here like this. It doesn't work this way in the UK. If you have a case against them, take them to court. So you see, if Israel doesn't like you, if the despotic governments of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and all the other lousy governments in the Arab world don't like you, then that causes pressure to be built to build on the politicians of this country. And in this way, we become the menace that the Sunday Telegraph talks about occasionally, or some of the other newspapers. But let me assure everyone, let me assure the government as well, we believe in the cause of justice. And we know that like our brothers in Egypt and our sisters in Syria, Egypt, Yemen, and elsewhere, that even if we have to go to prison, even if we are persecuted because of what we believe in, we will not give up what we believe in. And we will continue to struggle, no matter what they call us, no matter what they label us. If this sort of political Islam is causing a problem to someone in this country, then good luck with ISIS and the likes. Thank you very much.